How does this possession tale hold up? Let's find out. Hello Fanatics, I'm Dylan Phillips and this is the Film Fanatic Review bringing you The Possession of Hannah Grace, starring Shay Mitchell, Kirby Johnson, and Gray Damon. First, we'll tell you what the movie is about and our initial thoughts. Then we'll move on to our spoiler-free likes and dislikes. We'll finish up with some spoiler-heavy thoughts on this film and our final word. The Possession of Hannah Grace follows the story of a cop out of rehab who takes the graveyard shift in a morgue, where she experiences a series of bizarre violent events caused by an evil entity in one of the corpses. Overall, this was a disappointing film. It was a by-the-books, below-average horror that does everything expected of it. For what I liked about this film, let's start off with the acting. The film has some manageable, albeit mediocre performances that sometimes give the occasional breath of life to these bland characters. And the story is effective in having some suspense and jump scares throughout. However, there is so much wrong with this film, starting with the story. It feels like it has no real tangible plot to it, rather than being just the greatest hits of all the horror tropes. This makes it downplay its themes, which in retrospect would have made for a fantastic premise of a psychological horror. If it had spent more time on the former, it could have had a lot more substance. And there is a ton of unnecessary development and exposition throughout the film. Why gloss over a character until one development scene that is immediately followed by their demise? It doesn't make the audience care for them. It makes us roll our eyes. And the worst sin of all is the terribly uneven pacing and editing of this film. This short 90-minute film feels more like one that stretches over 2 hours, where the second act just drags and drags and drags, and then it haphazardly cuts to the climax, which is a rushed 15 or 20 minutes. And while you think that this script is maybe where this film only falters, you'd be wrong because the production is equally as bad. The overuse of the possessed contorted body makes it lose its scare factor and just becomes repetitive and dull. The terrible CGI used throughout this film is below average for a video-on-demand film. And the lighting is absolutely horrendous. It doesn't set the atmosphere, but instead makes it hard to really immerse yourself in the story. It's a little difficult to want to actually watch something when you can barely see the characters' faces. It feels amateurish. And that's where I'll end our spoiler-free thoughts on this film. If you want to hear a final word or rating of this film, pause now and click the link in the description, because now it's time for spoilers. No spoilers to talk about for this one, but the best scenes to me were the opening possession and the first morgue death. So, with the thoughts heard, here's our final word. The Possession of Hannah Grace is a pathetic paranormal story that is nothing like its title or trailer suggests. While the acting is alright and the premise had promise, the mind-numbingly stupid script, dragging narrative, and mood-killing production choices made for an unneeded addition to the possession genre. This was a great idea wasted on a truly forgettable film, so I'm gonna give The Possession of Hannah Grace a 2.5. Thanks everyone for watching our review. Are you planning on seeing The Possession of Hannah Grace? Or if you've already seen it, do you have something to add? What did you think of the story? Let us know in the comments below. I'm Dylan Phillips and this has been the Film Fanatic Review. If you liked this video and you want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Check out our latest rapid fire review where we discuss the film Cargo. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. And until next time, Fanatics, keep it real.